us about the event and looking forward to how I can improve on family bonds between youth and their families.
Yes, one of the things that we wanted to carry across as a message was that actually youth play a very important part in their families, whether they recognize it or not. Many youths have siblings, especially younger siblings, then they become the role models, they are the benchmarks. And because of the youth engagement with social media, because of their ability to keep pace with societal changes in a much better way than their parents, we parents are also forced to learn from them. So I know, for example, many parents who have asked about how they need to be able to access Facebook and how they can tweet and how they can maintain contact with their children in a different way than they were used to. So in the way that the youth communicate differently, they are also helping their parents keep pace with the changes in technology, changes in our society. So the message we want to give to youth is that you play a more important part than you realize, and we want you to take note of it. We want you to value this important role that you play, and we want you in the future, as you think about what success means to you, to please also include family as an important component.
With our busy schedule, do you also use social media to connect with your children?
I do have to. Yes, I have 3 children. Only my son has a Facebook account. We are Facebook friends with each other, although we don't interfere very much with each other's, ongoings with our own friends. But, it's certainly a very useful way of staying in touch. Yeah.
Is it a common topic for you, social media, Facebook?
Well, it's very much a part of the life of a young person in Singapore today. And so you can't be divorced from it. So in the sense that our youth are using social media not only to gather information, but really to interact with one another, then it's important for us parents to learn how to do it effectively as well.
Okay, yeah. But as an MP, how do you engage netizens who might be a little more critical online?
Actually, what I've found is that there are active netizens who, if they feel that someone who has raised a criticism is not fair, or if the criticism is not valid, they on their own will give a response. So it's not always necessary to give an immediate response. It's quite useful to see what others have to say. Recently there was a gentleman who asked me about whether the residents in a particular area had been consulted on the building of a childcare centre. And actually there were other residents who came on board and say, yes, but we support it. It's a very pro-family and we want it. So yes, it may be a little bit noisier, but it makes for a much more family-oriented environment in our precinct. So although I did eventually give him my response, my take and my explanation of the whole process, but I found that I wasn't the only one. So I think that there is great potential for social media for us not necessarily to meet physically, but still have meaningful engagement with one another. We just need to adopt a different mindset. When it comes across in the form of a message, it can sound a little bit harsh. And there are times when people type that message without thinking that it sounds harsh to the person looking at it on the other end. So I think my assumption is not that this person is trying to be difficult or nasty. My assumption is that if he saw me face to face, it wouldn't come across this way, and so I should not assume, and I need not assume that he has another agenda other than really to ask a question. So I think that way we've been able to manage quite well. Yeah.